Hi, today I'm going to share with you some troubleshooting tips when you're grouping objects together in Microsoft Publisher. These same tips will help you if you're working in PowerPoint. Okay, so I've already created a little button here that I'm going to be using for my course in Schoology. I've grouped together a shape and a picture or a piece of clip art. So now that's all one button. I've already centered it and made it so it's in the middle and everything's grouped together there. I have not grouped together my text box yet. Okay, so if you look at my text box, you can see that it extends beyond both sides of my picture here. So here's something to keep in mind. If you're going to keep your text box wider than the image that you're going to be grouping it with. Let me show you really quick. I'm going to center them together, but then when I group them together, now my object is going to become this big. So I'm going to have all of this extra space already embedded in my picture because the text box was so wide. So what I like to do is try to make the text box similar in size to my shape, so that I don't make the shape bigger than it needs to be. The reason why I'm doing that is if I go to insert that later into Google Docs, if I'm going to be copying it over to Schoology, is because then it'll make my icons look smaller. So when I put them in there, that extra space, it just creates extra padding around my original picture here, and I want that to be nice and big so the students can see it easily. So I'm going to make this text box at least the same size or maybe even just a touch smaller than this if I can. I did one the other day where I made one for social studies, and since social studies was 2 words and it was a little longer than the text box, I think I'm going to redo that one and put social studies so that social is on the top line and studies is underneath instead of going out wide, so that way my button won't be different size than the other one, and it will save me some time later having to resize it. Now that I have that finished, what I need to do is align these to the center. Okay, I'm not going to align the middle because it will end up looking like that. So after I align the center, I can readjust this to make it closer to my picture if I'd like, which I think I might do. When I group them together now, it's nice and even all the way around and it doesn't extend out with a lot of extra padding on the side. Okay, I'm going to ungroup those and show you what happens if I don't center them. Okay, so let's say it's off just a little bit, which first of all, it's not going to be right underneath, which might be a little bit of a problem. But if I group this, now it's going to create extra space over on that side. So again, that's why it's really important to make sure you center both of those pieces before you group them. All right, and then one last tip. After you have these grouped together and you're going to save this as an image, what you need to do is just click on this shape once. If you click on it twice, you will get these little tool pieces right here. They look, I'm not sure what they are, but they're little circles where the pieces were kind of grouped together. And basically what that's going to do, if you go try to save this now, it won't save correctly. So if you go save as picture, it's only going to save part of that. It's not even going to save the whole thing. And I'll save it back in this, well, yeah, I'll just save it back in this one. And I'll put in here, new image. And then you can see what happens when I pull it back in because I clicked on that twice and not just once. So here's my new image. And all it did was save the picture. That's because I had that part of this selected and when I went to save it. And the same thing could happen down here. So if I click on this part like that twice and I go to save it, it's going to save the reading part and it won't save the top part. New image 2. Okay, whoops. So now it's saved the two separate pieces, and it didn't save my shape there at all. So that's why it's really important to just make sure you select this one time. If you scroll your mouse over the shape, you should get 4 arrows, like, you know, northeast, southwest arrows. Or as I learned in school, never eat shredded wheat. You're going to get those little arrows there for you to select that shape. So you're just going to click it one time and then right click it and save as picture. So new image 3, and then that's how you should correctly save it. So if you're having some issues, hopefully that will help you. And here's my new image, all beautiful and saved. Okay. If you have any other questions or are having any problems saving your images after you're creating them, please let me know and I'm happy to help. Have a great day.